Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our presentation on digital accessibility and equity, building self-paced professional development opportunities for faculty. My name is Dr. Laura Otero, and I am an instructional designer for the Center of Academic Technologies and lecturer for the School of Computing and Design at CSU Monterey Bay.
Hello, and my name is Luz Espanola, and I am an accessibility specialist and previous instructional designer for the Center for Academic Technologies. I'm also a guest lecturer for the School of Computing and Design at CSU Monterey Bay. We are here today presenting because we developed and delivered equity-centered accessibility training along with the support of our colleagues in the Center for Academic Technologies.
So again, thank you for joining us. This presentation was designed to help you build equity-centered accessibility training for faculty at your own institutions. And to do that, we wanted to share our own process and the solution we came up with, as well as provide you with resources so you can build out your own training. So here's a little bit about our process. First, we discovered a significant increase in accommodation requests from students for digitally delivered asynchronous content. This, combined with the rise in online teaching, led our team to identify a need for faculty training that would support faculty to build accessible digital content. We also recognize this as an opportunity to incorporate equity principles into the content, as we know that designing for those in the margins benefits all students, according to universal design theory for learning. So, to meet those needs, we created a course called Accessible and Equitable Digital Content to raise awareness in our community of instructors on the impact of creating accessible content and how to remediate, meaning fix, accessibility barriers on various platforms used on our campus. It's important to note that we leaned into our existing infrastructure to accomplish this training initiative. We created this course as part of a pre-existing summer training series called the Summer Institute, where faculty are paid stipends for successful course completion. The Summer Institute is a partnership with other campus constituents where multiple courses called tracks are offered for full and part-time faculty.
Well, let me introduce you to the course. Our course was made up of two distinct tracks, one of partial course completion and the second for full course completion. The first track was called Clearing the Path for Accessibility, and our goal was to introduce the concepts of universal design for learning and the basic barriers our students experience when they are using assistive technology to access digital course content. We invited a guest speaker, Krista Miller, from Virginia Tech, an expert on UDL and digital accessibility, to lead that conversation, and we recorded the presentation with Zoom to make it available for those who needed to attend the session asynchronously. Also in this first track, we incorporated multiple learning resources to supplement the guest speaker session, such as a glossary of common accessibility terms, a pre-survey to determine familiarity with key accessibility-related concepts, and a discussion forum opportunity that allowed participants to reflect and share their experiences as well as their reactions to the instructional materials. The second track was demystifying accessibility, and our goals in this track were to introduce the technical practices of creating digital content in Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Google Docs, slides, and in our own learning management system, Canvas. Learners were walked through examples by video on how to use the functions built into these various platforms to apply basic digital principles like headings, alternative text, color contrast, table headers, etc. They were also provided with examples on how to use the built-in accessibility checkers in these platforms and the tool Ally to support their journey in finding and fixing their course content. Afterward, They were expected to put into practice what they learned with templates of inaccessible content that they had to remediate and submit for a grade. Our participants submitted screenshots of their unremediated content and then took screenshots of their remediated content with an explanation of what they fixed and why. Our assessment of their submitted work allowed us to gauge their competency with the built-in tools and their awareness of the need to improve for accessibility. On a side note, when speaking about accessibility with instructors, some of you might experience what we've experienced: a very chill cold or a warm ray of sunshine. To help us navigate these possible emotions from our learners, we incorporated humor into our learning materials. This made for a more humanized experience for our learners, and we received many positive comments and a high degree of completion, which we'll delve into shortly.
You know a little bit about our process, let's talk about our success metrics. So the first metric that we have is our overall completion rate. And in the first track, we had 25 participants with 18 completing and 7 not completing. Given the robustness of the course and the limited availability of faculty in the summer, we considered this to be a success. And furthermore, in the far more demanding second track, we had 42 participants with 40 completing the course and 2 not completing the course. Overall, we were pleased to have high participation with 67 participants and a course completion rate of 86%, which was much higher than previous Summer Institute metrics. We also surveyed our participants to get more qualitative data about course satisfaction and implemented a post-course survey that matched up with the pre-course survey. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive, and our learners largely felt and demonstrated that they were better prepared to create and remediate digital content to make it more accessible as a result of completing the course.
As you may already know, accessibility is a journey. This is where we are on our journey to ensure continued awareness of accessibility and universal design for learning. We have now adapted our Summer Institute course as a self-paced online training that is open year-round for all faculty. We are also hoping to incentivize completion by including it as a paid track for our 2023 Summer Institute, and by incorporating it as a track into our online course quality grant initiative, which would fund additional faculty stipends. We are also finding that students are increasingly interested in participating in this course. For example, we have web design, graphic design, and instructional design students who have shown interest in this course. And to meet this need, we have opened a preview version of the course where students can watch the lessons and engage in self-reflection without needing additional facilitators.
So here's what we have for you now. We do hope that you have learned something by listening to our process, and we invite you to share your own processes with us by emailing us, and our emails are listed on this page. We're also providing everyone with a free copy of the Accessible and Equitable Digital Content course so that you can view and adapt the course for your own institutional needs. We do ask that you credit Luz Espanola and Laura Otero for creating the course, but otherwise you're absolutely free to adapt and use and update any of the course materials you deem necessary. So to gain access to the course, just email one of us, or you can contact us on LinkedIn and we'll send you the course request form. Alternatively, you can also scan the QR code with your mobile phone on this slide to go directly to the course request form. So thank you again for coming to our session, and we're looking forward to hearing about your own success.